Opening quarter, and Bibby on the trap by the Heat, giving it up to Smith inside, and off balance, getting the bucket, and the Hawks lead by 3. Setting a screen, pick and roll, tipped away nicely by Joe Johnson on the turnover, 3-on-1, and Marvin Williams caps it. So defense leading to the transitional guy to gamble on him, and Wade finds Jones open and hits. James Jones. All right, okay, Williams driving in against James Jones and gets the basket. Pretty move by back strain, but he's back.
And he's got to get himself back into game shape as quickly as possible because of all that missed time. Wade faces up, hits the 3 from behind the downtown line.
Seven-game loss to the eventual world champions.
And you might be wondering, why would Williams come out? He got off such a great start after only 5 minutes. And you see Joe Johnson with the strong drive to the basket.
Play in this game. Wade getting the return pass and the basket. And in the lineup, Earl by Evans. Nearly halfway through this first quarter, double team. And driving in is Josh Smith with a tough basket. Josh Smith with the basket, and the Hawks leading by 4. So Michael for the Atlanta Hawks, a surprise 7-game loser, and gave the Celtics all they could handle last year in the first round of the series. Beasley with
his shots around the rim. The other 2 games, 21 and 21 for Wade. So obviously the size and length of the man affects it.
And a circus shot by Joe Johnson, who led the Hawks.
It's a little bit of a break defensively. Joe Johnson can go over and play James Jones.
And Mario Chalmers hitting the wide open 3, and the Hawks.
Yeah, O'Neal affected it. He wanted to go all the way, but sure O'Neal.
He gets the basket. Dwayne Wade goaltending is called, and
right back home and won their 2 home games.
Jamario Moon has come into the game, and there is Dwayne Wade with another slam. He has 11 points, 4 and a 3. Power forward and a small forward is the plan by Eric Spoelstra. Johnson getting a step on Jamario Moon and gets the basket. Very tough.
You cannot.
Waning 13.5 seconds. It'll be a shooting situation. Johnson guarded by Moon, and there comes the trap with O'Neal at the top. Murray to Horford, tough basket against Beasley. That's what Al Horford can do. Game 1, and that's the first time perhaps that's ever happened in the NBA. Nearly a minute gone by. Evans in the second quarter hits the jumper. So
Atlanta more than doubling the attempts by Miami.
And here's Wade going in and getting the basket. The Heat had missed their previous 5 shots and had the drought for nearly 4 minutes. So 13 now. Malone. O'Neal against Pachulia with 7 on the shot clock. Fall away shot hits. Jermaine O'Neal with the basket to bring the Heat to within 3.
And that. Dick, let's go back and watch Dwayne Wade. From the beginning, they set a side pick and roll, trying to find a way to get to the rim, pass and cut without it. Movement without the basketball will produce a lot of easy shots for Wade, rather than always having to work for it off the dribble.
By Horford. So the Hawks have their starting center. Josh Smith from Joe Johnson on a beautiful alley-oop.
Go back and look at the defensive play that started the whole transition opportunity. Wade going to the rim. It's blocked by Horford. And then when you don't see the ball, Jermaine O'Neal's back is to the basketball.
The first, beginning of the second, and now 7-0 again. Dwayne Wade driving in and no one around as he gets the easy lay-in.
Woodson wanted him to switch. They didn't see it.
Bibby inside to Johnson. Joe Johnson now with 8 minutes. They've had 3 field goals and 3 turnovers. Beasley back in the game, hits the jumper. Michael Beasley in the last.
Points right now, just 3 points from Jermaine O'Neal. So who's going to help out Dwayne Wade in putting points on the scoreboard?
There's Smith, and it'll drop in. Beasley did a good job, but
Beasley felt it because he had made his last shot. But that's not a good shot for the team.
That is, though, for the Atlanta Hawks, as Bibby hits his second 3-point out a lot stronger here, as the Miami Heat strong here lately. And there is Haslam, and he gets his first points of the game.
And that's what he can do.
Josh Smith, and now the Heat have it. Wade to Chalmers, and Chalmers on the 2-and-1 break. We haven't seen Beasley doesn't go. And over the shoulder line. as Josh Smith slams it through.
The reason that happens is the jump shooter. Go back and see Mike Bibby spot. Josh Smith lays it perfectly in front of the rim for the catch and finish. And now, when Wade falls, nobody's back. Smith emphatically throws it down.
What a high wire act. An all-star.
5 seconds, not 24. It's old math, I know that, but
Old math is good math. Flip Murray with the jumper scores. So the foul or the turnover, but did turn it over ultimately. And wide open with the three is Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson with a three-point basket. Joe Johnson going up and following up and getting the basket. 10-second differential, shot clock and game clock, and Haslam, well-designed play, attack the Atlanta Hawks with Ronald Flip Murray feeding it off, and the basket by Al Horford. Here's for Atlanta in the first half. Here's Bibby, started the game with a three, starts the second half with a three-pointer. Johnson, right now the big man, O'Neal on him. And there's Josh Smith stepping back and short with the three, but Joe Johnson lays it in.
not sure shot.
Bibby with a low pass to Horford, and out of the pack comes Chalmers. Mario Chalmers with the layup. So the Heat, precious few fast break baskets because not getting the turnovers, got one there. And there is Josh Smith, and this will roll through. So Josh Smith now with 19-3. Dwyane Wade, 17 points, the only Heat player in double figures, and Jones hits a three. That's why.
You got to get shots for him. It's only his second field goal attempt of the night.
Horford hitting from outside. Horford now with 12.
Baskets is not going to get it done from here. They need to get some stops, get themselves in a 7-0, 8-0 roll to get them back in the game. Two already. They've already finished game one in their minds. They don't realize there's a lot of time left in this basketball game.
They don't. The players do. Here's Horford, and that'll go through. So Horford now with 14. Wade turns it over again as Bibby leaves it for Joe Johnson, firing over Haslam and hits. So the beat goes on for the second year out of UNLV. James Jones hitting the jumper. So Jones perhaps double team on Johnson. Wade is guarding Evans, going to the hoop. And Josh Smith slams it through. Good follow-up by Josh Smith.
Sometimes when you wind up double teaming a low post man, you can't get back in your rotations to get a body on. The guy in particular, Josh Smith, who comes in from the lower part of your screen.
Of course, hated apparent. He's played our worst basketball against the Hawks this year, and they've got to add this game to their performance. Here is Beasley going up with a reverse layup and gets the hoop. Beasley now they have not been able to convert three-point baskets. Here's Beasley again. So two pretty moves to the basket in succession to take a shot here in the second half. And we have 2:20 to go in the third, but a reverse lay-in by Daquan Cook. So three.
That they understand the battle they're involved with as far as the playoffs go. They have a lot of passion about it. They want Chuck Daly to have the same type of passion in battling what he
gets the lay-in. Dwyane Wade with his first shot of the second half, and it comes with 1:44 to go. Chalmers defending against Johnson. Good passing by the Hawks, and culminating was Zaza Pachulia with another.
That time, Murray finds Pachulia, knows exactly where he is. Pachulia catches and finishes before the deep
point shots. And Dwyane Wade inside, and then Beasley fighting. Beasley has had a couple of pretty good inside baskets, checking to see if he was cut with the hit on the face. Bibby with a fall away from the baseline comes back. So Bibby now with 10 points and all 5 starters. Now Bibby to Smith. How many times have we seen that act tonight by the Atlanta Hawks? Acrobatic play.
Well, Bibby has tested Smith the entire evening. He just keeps throwing the pass higher and higher. That one almost above the square in the backcourt. Josh Smith still finds a way to come up with it and finish it.
It looks like you'll never win again. And when you win, it looks like you'll never lose. And we know that's not the case. Muniz.
It happens to you during the course of the season, as we in the NBA this season. And when you get to the playoffs, you face the opponent who seems to be so much superior to you are. You go back to, as Evans hits a two-pointer, you go back to your belief that, you know what, must be.
And it's been total dominance by the Atlanta Hawks. And there is Maurice Evans knocking the ball away and getting the second with a game like this.
I'm not sure that this Atlanta team is going to be one to come out overconfident, because as Zaza Pachulia faces up, hits the bank shot. Mike Woodson, number one, is a veteran from being there firsthand. And the other thing is, they saw last year that if you give a team a chance, they'll come back against you. We see the three-pointer that time, but and have to end up worrying about Miami making a little move and coming back against them.
Pachulia with his second effort gets the lay-in. And of course, all of Miami, with that much time remaining, that was the under 3-minute timeout, which you have to have. Miami with the lowest playoff game ever, 64 points. So a low for the Heat and superb defense for the Hawks for Mike Fratello. And Cheryl Miller, Dick Stockton saying so long from Atlanta. Coming up next, it's the Hornets and the Nuggets. After a quick break, we'll take you to Marv Albert in Denver. So long, everybody.